Hello, Yoshi44 here, and you know, I'm tired of looking at Sonic stuff. Examples. Go look at my last videos starring me. My last 2 reviews and my last Creepypasta video. I am now tired of doing Sonic, sorry about it. So now, who should I attack? Who should I bash for the next few videos or something like that? Mario! Wait, huh? Huh? Okay. Not Mario. Luigi! Huh? Ow! I think that time they dislocated my jaw. Ow! Yoshi? I can get away with Yoshi? Okay. Well then, we'll take a look at Yoshi's Safari Death Rally Creepypasta. Will I get over this? I really think the Luigi fan dislocated my jaw. Here's the video. When people think of the SNES era, they usually think of A Link to the Past, Super Metroid, and Super Mario World. I'm a bit different. I think of Yoshi's Safari. I love it to death. Weird way of foreshadowing. And it's one of my favorite games of all times. And unfortunately for me, I don't own a copy, but I'm still able to play it on an emulator. I always look for it on eBay for it, cliched, but I can never find it with the Super Scope. So, an emulator has to do. One day, while hunting for a game on eBay, again, cliched, never mind, I stumbled onto it for only $7 with the Super Scope. The item summary said it occasionally wouldn't start up, but it worked. I figured it wasn't too big of a problem. I purchased it and it arrived within a week. Once I got it, I rushed to my SNES, got the Super Scope ready, and inserted the cartridge. I stared in awe as the game booted up. Surprisingly, it seemed to work just fine, almost as if it was brand new. I grabbed the Super Scope and shot at the screen and began playing. I was beyond excited to begin. Then I got to the mode select screen, and then things began to get weird. Normally, there are 2 modes, 1 player and 2 player. But this time, there were 3. The regular 2 and a new mode called Death Rally. I tried to start it, but no matter how much I shot at the new mode, it wouldn't start. So I decided to play 1 player instead. It was exactly how I remembered it. And once I finished it, I decided to play the harder mode that is unlocked. I got to the mode select and saw the Death Rally mode. I shot at it, and much to my surprise, it started. It seemed to be the exact same with Peach asking Mario to save the King and Prince of Jewelry Land. Until I got to the first level and shot the first Goomba. The Goomba let out a terrifying scream and exploded, sending guts everywhere. Great. As I shot, more of the same thing happened to hit them, and every single other enemy. I progressed through the horrific level until I got to Lemmy, one of the Koopalings who serves as the boss. The fight played out as normal, but as Yoshi and Ludwig got hurt. Weren't you saying it was Lemmy and not Ludwig? Whatever. Hurt wounds outside their bodies. I defeated Lemmy. Okay, who is it? Ludwig or Lemmy? And he fell to the ground dead. I then knew what was happening, that I supposed I killed off the characters, but what would happen? Yoshi died? Okay, that was a weird way of saying sentence. I wasn't planning on finding out. I shot at the screen and continued playing. The world map had become stark and stormy. I played through the first 7 levels until I had killed all the Koopalings. I eventually got to a cutscene where you saved the King of Jewelry Land, but this time the king had been stabbed in the back. Mario stared at the corpse on the ground and then continued down into the Dark Realm. The Dark Realm was much darker than usual. It gave off a strong essence of death. I played through four more levels and nearly died in all of them. My arm was beginning to hurt badly from using the Super Scope so long, but I wasn't about to quit when I only had one more level. I shot at the level and Bowser's face that appeared was crazed looking. It had shining blue eyes, insanely long teeth. I broke into a cold sweat as the level began. I paid no attention to my arm and fought hard through the level. I got to the mini-boss section without getting hit once. Okay. Even then I took little damage. Okay, if you didn't get hit once, why did you say you got damage? And I was almost arm. What? Okay, what is this word? ALMOSTARM? Almost arm? All one word? Wow. I continued anyway. The battle was much harder than normal. I managed to remove his armor with half of my health left. Once it fell off, I shot to see what I was facing. Bowser. It was facing something much worse. Giga Bowser. Okay, we kind of figured if you said you weren't facing Bowser, you were facing Giga Bowser. It was kind of obvious. The fight seemed impossible. I only had a silver of health left. Yoshi looked like he was on the verge of death. When I shot one last shot before I dropped the Super Scope in pain, it was over. I had lost. But just then, Giga Bowser's flesh began to melt off until he was nothing but a skull. Ew. I did it. I beat Death Rally. I sat back and began to watch the final cutscene. The prince stood in front of me, right next to his zombifying Lemmy. My stomach sunk. Lemmy had a gun to the prince's head, and before Mario could do anything, he shot him. The prince fell to the ground, dead. I stared in shock as Lemmy trained the gun on Yoshi. I shut my eyes. I heard a gunshot then a sharp scream. When I reopened them, Yoshi was laying on the ground, also dead. Mario was filled with rage. He pulled out his Super Scope and killed Lemmy. Wasn't Lemmy already dead? He then began to cry and sat next to Yoshi for a minute. He then got up and turned towards me. The camera zoomed in on him. Then a text box appeared. The text box read, "This is all your fault. You did this to him. Now I'll complete the death rally with one last kill." He trained the Super Scope at me and then finished. You. I reached for my Super Scope, but I was too late. Then I heard a gunshot. I shut my eyes to not witness myself die, but I didn't. I reopened them and looked at the screen. The camera had zoned out. Mario lay next to Yoshi, where Yoshi was, who was now gone. Okay, well that was a good part. Now here's for the epilogue. Epilogue. The screen went black. I tried to reset the game, but nothing happened. I took the game out. I suppose it didn't work after all. I took it to my garage and smashed it with a hammer. The next day I ordered a new copy off of eBay. Cliched! Once I got it, I didn't put it in the SNES. I put it on the shelf where I keep my games. I never planned on playing it. I got it just to be sure I had the game I actually loved to death. And that was Yoshi's Safari Death Rally. Here's some problems with the story. I just can't. The eBay cliche, that was a little. Why do that? That's what other does. It's so cliched. The blood, the guts, well, to the story's credit, it doesn't go too graphic with it. And third, the epilogue. I don't think you really needed that. The person writing it did not need that epilogue. Because I think the way how they left it, I think the epilogue is really not necessary. But it's an okay story. It's all it is. It's just okay. Well, bye.